Is general manager Monty Ossenfort fumbling the Arizona Cardinals' search for its next head coach? Well, the latest addition to their interview request might suggest so. Bo Brock, Johnny Venerable, subscribe to PHNX Sports, like this video. And Johnny, I think the worst of all realities has happened. The Cardinals have officially requested former Falcons head coach and Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith to interview for their vacant head coach position.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways you can look at this. The biggest red flag is this interview request took place on January 14th, not January 7th, not a week ago, when you're trying to check some preliminary boxes, just like the Cardinals in 2023 interviewed Vance Joseph and Frank Wright, and they got some candidates that were probably a lesser tier out of the way. To be this deep into the process where you have a team like the Giants trying to hire John Harbaugh as we speak, and you're putting in a request for an offensive coordinator who, let's just put it kindly, underachieved grossly with Pittsburgh this year and was a below average head coach, that's a red flag. The only thing that I can think of to justify this, and listen, I got this wrong. I thought his connections with Jonathan Gannon, they're very close, would prohibit the Cardinals from interviewing him. But unlike Kevin Stefanski, who I believe they will not have a chance to interview, Arthur Smith has limited options, especially now that Mike Tomlin has resigned as Steelers head coach. There's a possibility that, okay, I'm Arthur Smith. I need a job. I'm Arthur Smith. I'm going to just take what I can get. I don't think this is a serious head coaching inquiry. I think this is if we hire a defensive head coach, maybe Arthur can come in and be our offensive coordinator, but that's still bad. That's still something that is an immediate downgrade, even over somebody like Drew Petzing, which is hard to believe, Bo.
I mean, it's Drew Petzing offense on steroids. I think what he did during his tenure in Atlanta, as far as the misusage of Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, some of the biggest weapons and mismatches in the NFL today, he should be in cuffs for that. And this is a guy that's run offenses consistently throughout his career. And when he doesn't have Derrick Henry, as he did with the Titans, he hasn't been successful. He's firmly in the 20s year in and year out. This is not somebody that's going to inspire hope as far as elevating young players like Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, prepare yourself from Trey McBride getting less red zone targets than Tip Ryman. That's what his history suggests. He's against the grain. This is not one of those hires that is going to get any confidence from your fan base. I don't even understand why you would want to put it on your docket. If you were going to do this, you should have made sure that it was going to be, not reported. But here we are, and the Cardinals now 13 coaches deep. They go from adding to the list after our show on Tuesday night, the guy that dominated Arthur Smith's offense, Matt Burke, the DC for the Texans, who you can make the case for because of how impressive him and D'Amico Ryans have really kind of fine-tuned and put that defense in a spot to dominate. But, Arthur Smith, I can't make the case for this. And as far as the 13 people on this list, very few of them really are going to get this Cardinals fan base excited and them taking advantage of the tough decision that they made to pivot off of Jonathan Gannon.
To me, this just speaks volumes to the fact that the Cardinals were unprepared for this coaching search. They are casting a wide net and they're going backwards. You can make an argument their best two candidates that they are going to interview or have interviewed at the timing of this recording took place a week ago. Like you've gone backwards now. In what reality are you requesting Arthur Smith for a head coaching interview 10 days in, but you refuse to talk to Mike McDaniel, Mike McCarthy, Kevin Stefanski, and Brian Flores? Your candidates are a hodgepodge of unemployed guys, part of the old boys club. That's what Arthur Smith is. Hey, he's part of the old gang, and we're going to get him in here, and he's got experience and blah, blah, blah. This is the NFC West outside the Cardinals is the Ivy League. It is the academic where these guys will gut you and eat you alive, as we saw, unfortunately, with Jonathan Gannon's staff, bringing in Arthur Smith, bringing in Vance Joseph. Like, you're going to get more of the same. And unfortunately, in the process, you're going to lose people forever. This franchise is not of the benefit right now where they can tinker around another rebuild. They have to come out swinging. And this is an uninspired list. Regardless, like Arthur Smith, the optics of it are so bad. Like, while I don't think he's a serious candidate, to your point, Bo, couldn't let this get out. Like Monty Ossenford has Arthur Smith's phone number. Just call him on the phone. Just talk, do the hardball. Just talk to him on the phone. But to like put in a formal request to speak with him is embarrassing. The optics of it are embarrassing. And for a team right now that is doing everything wrong in terms of how they're marketing this search, how they're publicizing it or not thereof, and they're letting all the insiders do their heavy lifting. I mean, I would try to get in front of this, and instead they're doing the opposite of that.
They can completely do an about face change with the right hire. But as far as this list that continues to grow, this fan base continues to be underwhelmed with its lackluster nature. But look, you get the hire right, and that you can be, free of the allegations being levied against you. But so far, MS, what are your thoughts as far as former Falcons head coach Arthur Smith being added to the Cardinals requested interview list, and just the list in its entirety? Drop a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to PHNX Sports.